All right, y'all, so the results are in for our pick a card for the week of Sunday, August 11th through Saturday, August 17th. Again, you were to select card group number 1, card group number 2, or card group number 3. And so I have a couple of quick announcements, and if you want to go ahead and skip ahead to the selection, card group 1, 2, or 3, you can check the timestamp below and go ahead and skip ahead to your results. But if not, you can stick around for these quick announcements. First, those of you who commented your card selections, you have until Monday, August the 12th. Those of you who haven't commented your card selections, you have until August the 12th on Monday evening in order to comment those selections. When you comment what you your card selections by Monday, August the 12th, then you are automatically entered to win our August giveaway, which will be announced at the end of the month. So make sure if you want your name in there for this week, make sure that you do so by Monday, August the 12th. Also, make sure that you click the link in the description box below. It has a lot of information there about the work that I do. So if you're interested in booking a personal reading, because these readings that we do here are just a general overview for the week. So if you're looking for something that is more personal and suited to you, make sure that you click the link below in order to book a personal reading. And also you can purchase my book, The Magic of Self-Love. There is also access to my PayPal and Cash App if you just feel so inclined and you want to leave a donation because these readings are benefiting you in some kind of way. I greatly appreciate those donations as well. So thank you to everyone who has commented, and thank you all for watching. And so card group number 1 is up next. All right, so those of you who selected card group number 1, here are your results. Before we go into that, I do want to share with you the stone that you all selected. And I realize I don't know how good this lighting is because this is a really, really pretty stone. And I don't know how well you can see it, but it is a ruby. It is actually a raw ruby that has not been polished or really cut in any kind of way. This is a raw stone, and so it's actually a very deep burgundy, pinkish, reddish color. It's a very, very pretty stone. And ruby it really works really well with the root chakra as well as even the heart chakra. It is a protective stone, so it is throughout history, people have used it or worn it whenever they wanted to be warned of any danger, or they felt that they needed to be protected in any kind of way. I'm really trying to find a better way of showing this. I don't know if this will help. No? Anyway, so ruby is really good for protection, for warning you of any danger, of any threats against you, also of any illnesses. But when it's dealing with more pleasant things of life, it really aids and assists in sexual energy, in your passion for life. If you've lost your zeal for life or your passion for life, or you don't have any drive or initiative anymore, ruby is really, really good for that. It's kind of like a hot-natured stone. So like if you're overstimulated, it can, or if you're already stimulated to the max, it can kind of overstimulate you. Again, because it deals with that aggressive kind of energy, whether it's dealing from threats or danger, but also passion and that fire energy. So ruby is a good stone to have for a multitude of reasons. So we're going to go ahead and get into your card selection. So these cards here, the one that is on the bottom is your general energy for the week, what you most need to know, or maybe your general headspace or emotional or mental space where you are, and general wisdom. And then the card that crosses it gives you additional insight into that. It can let you know what might hinder your general energy or what could actually assist that. And then we'll actually go into your wisdom card as well. So this week you received the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. So, how can I put this here? Okay. So the Knight of Pentacles is one of those cards. Whenever I see it, I know that there is some work that needs to be done. The Pentacles, yes, a lot of times when people see the Pentacles, they get really excited because they assume it just means money is coming, abundance, financial resources, and that may be true to a certain extent. But the Knight of the Knight of Pentacles, if you look at him, he is really stable. He is on a very firm, stable horse. He is actually kind of surveying his land. He is looking out ahead of him. He actually has his pentacle ahead of him, and he's looking at what needs to be done. And if you look in the background, it's actually like farmland. So he's actually looking at the work that has to be done in order to guarantee that this seed grows, that he has a harvest. And so the Knight of Pentacles is a card that represents work. It's time this week, August 11th through the 17th. You may have a lot of work on your plate, but it's good work. It's that kind of satisfying work that you know will reap rewards, will reap benefits if you do the work. You know, if you don't shy away from what needs to be done, then you will more than likely see the fruits of those labors very quickly. And it's very interesting that I think it was sometime last week, one of the groups got the Knight of Pentacles, got the Page of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups. And now we have the Knight of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups. So some of you, you know, this may be a continuation of the cards that you selected last week, I believe it was, or the week before. So with this Knight of Pentacles, you're really encouraged to, whatever it is that you are wanting to see a harvest in, whether it's something in your job, something in your business, something in your family life, something with your children, projects that you have working on. Maybe you're a teacher and you're preparing your classroom. The Knight of Pentacles is saying that you know that this is really the time to kind of put your nose to the grindstone and actually do the work that guarantees the results that you want to see. The Knight of Pentacles does not shy away from work. He's not afraid of work. And what's so interesting about this particular energy of the Knight of Pentacles is that he's not really looking at just the work. So it's not like, oh gosh, I got to do all this work and it's going to be so hard and it's a lot of labor and, you know, it's going to be a lot of stress and all of that. He's not really feeling that way. I mean, he is a knight, so he knows he's going to get the job done. You know, he's got his armor on. Nothing can hurt him in the process. But it really is about getting your job done, checking your to-do list, and even more so, I would say strategizing. Strategizing this week is very important. The Knight of Pentacles does not just work on a whim. He does not just go out there and just do whatever he feels needs to be done. He doesn't like working backwards. He doesn't, you know, the energy with this card doesn't like working unnecessarily hard. You know, what is that saying that you can, I would rather measure 10 times and cut once than to cut 10 times and measure. Now I can't even remember. Remember the quote. Y'all can look that up and let me know. But basically it's like working smarter and not harder. That is the Knight of Pentacles. He knows that work is involved. He knows that there's labor involved. He knows that there's a to-do list. There are things that have to be checked off. There are things that have to be accomplished. But this energy here, or the Knight of Pentacles, he is more concerned about getting the work done in the smartest way possible so that he doesn't waste time. And so that's what you're encouraged to do this week. Like, how can you best utilize your time so that you get the most work done in the most effective way? And so that you don't have to go back and repeat steps and fix things and, you know, go back and do it again because you rush through the process. You know, if you do it right the first time, you won't have to come back and do this work over and over and over again. So this week, you're really encouraged to check in with anything in your life that you that requires energy from you, that requires your presence or your work or your mental energy, whatever, and strategize what is the best way to get your task done, so that you're not just checking things off of your to-do list, but that you are also ahead of the game. You know, like, set yourself up now, do the work now that is that puts you ahead of the game. And what's so interesting is that we are still in Leo season, but in just about a week or so after the end of this week, or a few days after, really, we will be going into Virgo season. And Virgo season is all about analyzing and strategizing to get the work done. Virgo season marks the time when summer is transitioning into fall. And so we're thinking about the harvest that is to come. And so we have to know that we're putting in the work, that we're doing what needs to be done, so that later on, when we are in the winter season, that we have actually set ourselves up really lovely. So the Knight of Pentacles, he's doing the work now that will set him up really lovely in the future. And so that's what you are being challenged to do this week. Do the work that needs to be done now, and be smart about it. Be strategic about it, so that you actually put yourself ahead of the game in the season to come. And what is crossing it is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups really deals with, she is a very nurturing energy card. She is like that heart chakra. She is mother energy. She is very, the energy of the Queen of Cups she's the queen of emotion. She's the queen of, what holds your heart, and so you have to, when I see the Queen of Cups, I know that it's time to really get into that nurturing space, into that loving space, and to do things from a place of love, not just from a place of work. And I'm saying that because since she's crossing a working card, a Knight of Pentacles, which is all about work, find a way to love what you do. If you are just, checking off your to-do list and everything feels like a task and it just feels like a burden, then remember why you're doing what you're doing. Sometimes everything isn't always, super, super fun all the time. Sometimes we have to do things that, may not be the most fun thing to do, but the pleasure comes in having done it. For example, you might not like cleaning your room, you know what I mean? Or washing your car or whatever. You might not like it, but you like the result of having done it. Or you might not like the task, but you love the thing that you're doing it for. For example, you may not like washing your car, but you really love your car. So that in taking the time to wash it is actually a demonstration of love for your possessions. The Knight of Pentacles, any Pentacles card, not only deals with resources and money and wealth. The Pentacles deal with the natural world, with the physical world. And so material with like I said, the physical world. And so it's always well and good to have things, to have nice things, to have that harvest come in, or to complete that task and get all the accolades and everything for having done the work. But did you love it while you were doing it? And even if the parts that you had to do weren't as pleasurable, remember your why. Remember why you're doing it. Remember why, you chose to be a teacher, or you chose to clean your room or wash your car or whatever. The task might be boring. The task may be even laborious, but the thing that you're doing it for is what brings you joy, is what brings you love. So don't, the Queen of Cups basically is saying, don't forget your love for the thing that you're working towards. Don't just see it as work, but see whatever it is that you're going towards. And I mean, even if you're working on your marriage, for example, and it's like, oh God, we're going to marriage counseling, or we're in a rough patch, we really got to work this out. We got to do there's no quick steps to fix this problem. We really have to dig in there and do the work, because the Knight of Pentacles is about doing the work. And the Queen of Cups is saying, so remember why you love this person. Remember why you signed up to marry this person. You know, remember the love that initiated you even taking this step. All right. And so the wisdom card that you received is called Flexible. So let's see what that says. 1 second. I'll look at Flexible. All right, Flexible. Teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. A tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. And I will actually also read the relationship message. It says, in every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to come to a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. The appearance of this card in a reading could also signal that you have met someone new who may not be your quote-unquote type, but who will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You'll be happy you made that choice. So in being flexible this week is very, very important. And that may be why I was saying, you know, here, when you're dealing with the Knight of Pentacles, it is very rigid. It is about the work. It is about strategizing. It is about keeping, you know, your eye on the prize and staying focused on your goal. But then you can't be so rigid on the goal and completing the task and checking all the boxes that you forget your love. You forget why you're doing what you're doing. Add that heart energy, and it's the heart energy that you add to your task this week that make you flexible. And in being flexible, you will actually, because the Queen of Cups is all about intuition also. So let me say this too. So the Knight of Pentacles, you know, when we're in Knight of Pentacles mode, we have our to-do list, we strategize, we have our plan for getting from point A to point B. And then the Queen of Cups, because she's not only emotion, but she's intuition. So she may show you, or the energy of the Queen of Cups is telling you that, you know, this week you may have moments of just intuitive knowing that show you how to better get your job done. Something that you may think is going to take a long time or be a hard task or be very rigid and boring and, you know, step by step to get there. The Queen of Cups may show you a different way through intuition. And so that's why you have to be open to your own intuition this week. Be flexible as you are going towards your goals, as you are preparing to get your work done this week. So make sure that in that you are still being flexible and open to your intuition. All right. So that is the reading for those of you who selected card group number 1. Thank you so much for allowing me to come into your world this week and share a little bit of wisdom with you. And until we speak again, I'm wishing you all so much peace and love. All right, y'all. So those of you who selected card group number 2, here is your reading. First, here is a selenite stone. That is the stone that was on top of your cards. And selenite is one of those stones that is really connected to the spirit world. I know the times that I have used selenite, like maybe slept with it under my pillow, like my dreams have always been out of this world. And it is one of those that really can open you up in a very spiritual way or open up your intuition. It can also be placed around the house to help protect your household from any energy that you don't want coming into your home. Selenite is also very useful in helping to create a clear mind. It works very well with clear quartz, and also works very well with stones like black tourmaline or obsidian if you are removing negative energy and you want to allow more light energy towards you. And so if you want to know more about selenite, there's so much that could be said about this stone. Make sure that you Google selenite. All right, so we will be going into your wisdom card in just a second. But the card on the bottom here actually represents your more general energy of this week, August 11th through the 17th, what you most need to know and do and be aware of, like your general energy or what you are going into this week with. The card that crosses it actually gives you further insight onto this card, what could assist you here or what could hinder you here, all right? And so you received, wow, the High Priestess and the Three of Pentacles. The High Priestess and the Three of Pentacles. So I love the High Priestess card. The High Priestess, whenever this card appears in a reading, is really signaling you to delve deep into your intuition. This card, for those of you, if you watch card group number 1 and they got the Queen of Cups, and I said the Queen of Cups is a highly intuitive card. The High Priestess though is intuition. Like, she is that intuitive knowing that doesn't come out of a book. That is nothing somebody said, you know, it's just that kind of divine cosmic knowledge. And people may question the the High Priestess. People, you know, may have different opinions. Have you ever just known something in your gut and truly known it? You know, not just some little fluke, but like for real, just for some reason you had an understanding about something, an awareness about something, and everybody's giving you facts and details and telling you, no, that can't be true because I know this and studies show this and research says that, but your gut is telling you the truth. And then later on it comes out that what you felt on, you know, on the gut level actually was the truth, right? The High Priestess cannot be lied to because she already perceives the truth, because she's pure instinctual, intuitive knowledge and wisdom. This week, you are highly encouraged to really tap into your inner High Priestess, meaning your intuition. And it's very interesting that you got the selenite, and I talked about how much selenite works on your like your dream state, your subconscious mind, and even your intuition, because this week you will actually need your intuitive self at its highest point. I don't want to say throw knowledge out the window. I don't want to say that at all, but I do want to highly encourage you to do things that heighten your intuitive self. Like write down your dreams. Spend some time if you can, even near water. If you've ever been like to the beach or by a river, and it's just something about the sound of the water and the energy that is usually around bodies of water, and that's even been proven scientifically for those of you who need scientific proof. But how water can bring clarity to our minds and really heighten our intuition. The High Priestess is really telling you that if there are things that you want to know, if there's insight that you are needing, is not necessarily going to come from what you already know consciously. You know, it's not going to come from a lot of facts and details. It's going to come from an intuitive state. And so you want to make sure that you are really allowing yourself to grow this week in your intuition. That can require meditation. a lot of prayer, meditation, quiet time. I'm actually sensing and feeling, even taking salt baths, you know, like allowing yourself to just soak in water. And, you know, you can put sea salt in the bathtub, because it's something about that, the energy of the ocean. If you can't get to the ocean, creating that kind of space even in your bathroom will actually heighten your intuition. And I can't tell you why. I can't necessarily even say why that is necessary, you know, like very specifically. Only you will know why. But it's really, this week you were really encouraged to almost kind of retreat in some ways. You know, some of you who selected card group number 2, you may find that this week is a week where you need quiet time, where you need solitude, where you don't need the opinions of thousands of others. Like, you don't need everybody's opinions on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever. You may not need to overwhelm yourself this week with, you know, what you see on the news. You actually need to go within. The High Priestess is a card of going within and understanding that true wisdom comes from within. True wisdom comes from allowing yourself space to hear from your higher self, from God, from your ancestors, you know, whoever and whatever is assisting and guiding you on your path. Like, and it's very interesting because what was crossing it is the 3 of Pentacles, which is a very earthy card. All of the Pentacles have a very earthy energy to them, meaning they're very connected to either financial wealth, natural resources, land, your house, your children, like things you can see, smell, touch, you know, taste, you know, and hear, you know, like the physical earth, all things physical. And then 3 of Pentacles actually deals with teamwork, like working to build, using the knowledge and the wisdom, not just from yourself, but from your team to create, to build. It's about teamwork. It's about understanding that you can't do everything on your own. And so to have that crossing the High Priestess is almost like I'm feeling that some of you maybe getting ready to go into a season of a lot of work, a lot of working around others, a lot of having to, having to see a vision, because the High Priestess is intuition. So you may have a vision that has not manifested yet, you know, a job that is not yet, that you don't have yet, or a business that you're waiting to create, or a marriage that you're hoping to have, or something that is still in the unseen spiritual realm that you're wanting to bring forth into the physical world. And so this week you are kind of like preparing yourself for what is to come in the physical. So in order, everything that we see in the physical world, whether it be a chair, a table, or a baby, at some point was unseen, was some point in the realm of the High Priestess, the unseen, intuitive, spiritual world, right? And it's through our thoughts and through our work that actually brought that thing into physical reality. But you know, let's just say I wanted to build a chair, I have to first imagine that chair. I have to first kind of see it in the invisible world. I have to kind of imagine it and dream about it and think about it and, you know, just kind of play with it in my mind before it actually manifests in physical form. And so this week, first and foremost, you need to get into your spiritual self. You need to go into your intuition. You need to go into your imagination, and not just that imaginative state of mind where you're just kind of dreaming with no purpose. This is the time to really go in, and those things that maybe you want to manifest, those things you want to create, those things you want to have, those experiences that maybe you want to have, is really a time to really go into that part of your intuitive and imaginative self and bring it to life first in the unseen realm. Then, because quickly after that is coming a time where you won't have a lot of time to just dream and meditate and imagine, because you'll be going straight into work mode, you know. And so if you go straight into work mode now this week, trying to build something that you haven't really, I don't want to say thought through, but that you haven't really dreamed and imagined, then you could be backfiring in how you're working, because you could be putting forth a lot of energy and effort towards something that you have not really manifested in your mind. Or everything, like I stated earlier, everything that we see and feel and experience in this world, whether good or bad, first happens in the unseen realm. The high priestess is calling you, or the energy of this card is really encouraging you this week, August 11th through the 17th, to really go into that intuitive, imaginative dream state and pull down some real wisdom, like for real, like ask for divine guidance this week. Ask for divine guidance. What did I say about selenite? Deals with divine spiritual energy. Ask for divine guidance, because there are things that you don't see. There are things that you don't fully understand yet that you actually want. You know, there's some things that you want to manifest that you don't even know you want to manifest yet. There's certain things that you may be called to create that you don't even know that you want to create yet. And so I would say even the beginning half of this week, you may really want to take time out, like make a conscious effort to take time out, to be in solitude, to get by those bodies of water, to take not just relaxing baths, but those kind of like a spiritual bath. If you know anything about taking a spiritual baths, this is really the time for that. This is a time for cleansing, removing toxic belief patterns and that maybe have come from failures of the past, because you've got work to do. You have work to do. You have a purpose. You have something you have to create. You have something that you need to manifest. You have dreams and desires that have yet to be lived that you need to live, and you don't know how to get there. And so what this is saying is that first and foremost, the idea and first and foremost, you have to tap into divine insight in order to really, really see it and know it and feel it in your mind first, and to believe that it's possible, right? And then you need teamwork to help you bring it about, because you're not going to be able to do it alone. On this realm, you ain't doing it alone, because you need spirit, the ancestors, your higher self, whatever, to help you to really, truly manifest it. You can't just dream right now. Like, you can't just dream in a hopeful kind of way. You got to dream in a way that you know that what you see in your mind is possible, right? And that takes something. If you've had failures and doubts and all of that kind of stuff, then it's going to take something within you that is beyond your doubts to help you even believe that that's possible. And then you'll call forth the team that you need to get it done, because even in the physical world, you can't get it done alone. You need spiritual assistance and physical assistance to bring forth a new life, a new way of being, new opportunities, new desires, new dreams. Some of you are going to really, this second half of the year, I'd even say, may really lay the groundwork for some remarkable changes in your life. And I will do a shameless plug right here. Some of you actually need to click the link below in my description box and get I believe the 2019 mid-year reading is still available, because we're still kind of halfway through the year. So you may want to get some specific guidance for you on what you need to do from this point through the end of the year, so that you know your options and your obstacles and opportunities that will be coming across your path. Because you may have some opportunities coming to you that without divine wisdom and insight and using your intuition, you would totally miss it. You wouldn't even see it. You wouldn't even know that they cross your path. You know, you wouldn't even know. Or you might have people who are right now in your circle who have the knowledge that you need, the wisdom you need, the guidance you need, the insight that you need to help you to build, right? But you can't see it. So that's why you have to get the clutter out of your mind and really take some time to take those spiritual baths, take that time of prayer, meditation, take that time to go by the water. And I know that for many of us, you know, many of you may be getting ready to go into a very busy time. Like if you're going back to school, or if you're a teacher, or if you have children who are going back to school, or you know, you're coming off of summer vacation, and so you may be feeling more inclined to jump into the work part. But what I'm telling you, what this is saying is, no, you need to jump into the spiritual part first, because the spiritual part will guide you on what you need to do. Otherwise, you'll just be working in vain. You know, you'll be building with no purpose. It will actually feel like drudgery and work. You don't want to do that. The high priestess is telling you that there is deeper insight that you don't know, that you will only know if you take time out to know. All right. So your wisdom card that you received is to be fair. All right. So let's see what that says. Let's see. To be fair. All right, to be fair, balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. Life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing. Yet over time, they strike a balance. You move from being, from stasis, to doing, from discovering to loving, to letting go, to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. Wow. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause, there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. It's so very interesting that this card, when I read on it, it says, you know, that you will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. And if that is not what these two cards are saying, I don't know what is. I mean, this is the being state. You know, this is the doing state. Being and doing. You are always in a state of moving back and forth between a time of being and then a time of doing. And so I would encourage you that you start this week off in your being state and go all the way in. Go into the being state like you are working it. Like actually schedule time on your calendar. Tell everybody you are not to be bothered between the hours of whatever and whatever, right? And take those time, those hours, that time to take those spiritual baths, to meditate, to go by those bodies of water, to ask for divine wisdom and guidance and insight. Then get to work. Then go into the doing state. You know, preparing for what you want to see manifest in your life, preparing for what you want to build, preparing for, you know, work, for school, for, you know, whatever is coming up in your life. So there always has to be this balance. You see, she's holding those scales. You know what I mean? There always has to be that balance between being and doing. This week you are really high, and it's interesting that the high priestess in tarot, if you know anything about tarot, you know, rules over all of the 2 cards. That's why she has Roman numeral 2, which deals with balance. You know, so balance your being and your doing this week, and don't make light of the being state, because it is out of the being state, the being, your intuition, your intuitive state, your imaginative state, that you get the most out of your doing state, your work state. All right. So that is your wisdom for the week of August 11th through August 17th. I want to thank you all for allowing me to come into your life this week and share a bit of wisdom and insight with you. Make sure that you click the link below to book a personal reading or to leave a donation if you feel so inclined. And make sure you comment your card selections by Monday, August 12th, if you want to automatically be added to our raffle for our August giveaway. All right. Talk to you soon. Peace and love. All right. Greetings. Welcome to those of you who selected card group number 3. Here is your reading. And the stone that is on the top of your cards is an amethyst, which I think I actually used in a previous week. I used a different stone, a different amethyst stone, not this particular one. but this is just another one that I have. And amethyst is one of those stones that I feel like everyone can benefit from. Amethyst is one of those that really helps with your emotional state. It really helps to bring balance to your emotional state. It helps to bring joy in times of sadness. It helps to also connect you even to your higher self, your spiritual self, your intuition. There are so many things that can be said about amethyst. So many wonderful things. And so I would highly encourage that you Google amethyst if you want to learn more about all of the things that this stone can do. So those of you who selected card group number 3, we will go into your wisdom card in just a second. Your bottom card displays your general energy, what you most need to know, do, or be aware of, or even the energy that you're entering the week into. And then the card that crosses it is the card that lets you know any additional information that you need to know to help that bottom card, or what could hinder that. So this week, the week of August 11th through August 17th. Wow, I knew somebody was going to get this one. I don't know why, but I knew it. You all received the 5 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. The 5 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. Yes. So the 5 of Swords is one of those cards that really deals with competition and winning at all costs. Winning, you know, where how you win, you know, doesn't matter as long as you win. You know, who you step on to get to the top doesn't matter as long as you get to the top, right? And so if you even look at this card, you know, the guy, he's gone to battle with others, with the other people here, and they're walking off all sad, and they've thrown their swords to the ground, and he's like holding some of them. He has the other ones at his feet, and he's got this little cocky little smirk on his face. I don't know if you can really see it, but he's got a cocky little smirk on his face, like, yeah, I won, you know, I got this, you know. And you know, in that moment, winning always seems so sweet. Winning always seems so awesome in that moment when you have annihilated your competitors or your enemies or those that you perceive to be your enemies. But the thing about the 5 of Swords is that it really is about winning at all costs, and the fact that you might actually lose more in the long term for winning in the short term. I would highly encourage you this week to remember the long game. You know, some people only play to win in the moment, and they, you know, they seek to win the battle and they still lose the war. You do not want to be that person who wins the battle and loses the war, you know. Or what is the saying when people are in relationships and they're like, you know, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? You know. And so I'm not encouraging you to if, you know, if you have to speak your mind, because the swords deal with mental energy, you know, so if you have to speak your mind, if there's something that needs to be said, if there's a situation that needs to be addressed, I'm not telling you don't address it, but how you address it can make the difference between you being miserable in the long term or being happy in the long term. Because the 9 of Cups deals with happiness and contentment and satisfaction. And so I'll get to that in a second. But so this 5 of Swords here is telling you, you know, you may feel that in order to, if you have goals that lie ahead, or just, you know, if there's a barrier that you feel that you need to get through, a blockage that you feel that you know, you've got to just bulldoze and bully your way through, that in the end, at the end game of it all, you can actually lose it all because of your method, because of how you go about doing it. So if you are dealing with arguments with people, and especially people that matter, like I'm not talking about just regular like internet folk, or, you know, people on the street that don't matter to you. But, you know, if you are having a conflict with a coworker, a spouse, a child, a family member, and you all actually need to resolve this conflict, you know, because the state of your outcomes and the state of your life is depending on how this outcome is solved. I'm trying to get better light. It's kind of dark in here right now, y'all. I don't know why, because it's daylight. It's like very bright, so I don't understand. But anyway, if you have a conflict that requires solving, that needs to be solved, you are highly encouraged to examine the ways in which you go about doing it, because how you go about doing it is actually more important than just solving the problem, because you can solve a problem or you can win the war, you can get the job, you can, you know, handle that situation in the moment, and you could, you know, you could win in the moment, but you could lose in the long term, and you could end up burning bridges, because this is what this is all about. You think after this dude just annihilated these other folk and he's cocky about it, you think that they're ever, you know, ever going to let him forget that, even if later on, a year from now, he wants to become friends with them again, or he needs their assistance? You know, they're actually swordsmen as well. You know what I mean? So there might be a time where he has to go to battle against a whole different enemy, and he needs these partners here to come to fight with him. And you think they're gonna come to his defense after this? No. So just understand that any bridges you burn, and any cords that you cut with your mouth in particular, or just your way of doing things, just understand that could come back to burn you later on. So ask yourself this week, you know, what is it that I really want to gain? How do I want to advance? How do I want to progress, you know, in my life? What is it that I'm trying to accomplish? What am I really accomplishing? Because, you know, I talk to a lot of people, and in my conversations with folk, people who, you know, maybe are going through different things in their lives, when you really get to the root of what it is they're going through, it's usually not what they think that they're going through. You know, if they're having this argument, for example, with their sister, and they're like, she just doesn't understand, she's this horrible person, and and they're telling all the stuff that somebody did to them, or that their sister did to them, did them wrong, or whatever. But at the root of that, the core of that, is that they just wanted their sister to appreciate them. They just wanted love, or they just, you know, maybe wanted their sister or whoever, I'm just using that as an example, but they just wanted that person to support them in some kind of way, and they didn't feel that way, and that animosity just grew and grew and grew till it just became a battle, and nobody even remembered what they were fighting about, you know. And so ask yourself this week, ask yourself early enough in the week, Sunday, Monday, right, Tuesday, you know, what is it that I really hope to gain from this argument, this separation, this issue on my job, or why I'm leaving my job for a different job, or, you know, what do I really hope to, what is the true thing that I hope to gain? And to get there, does it require total destruction of the person or the people or the things that I think are standing in my way? Or do I just think that it requires that because I'm in my ego self and I'm angry and I feel like I'm hurt, right? So really ask yourself, because what is waiting for you is this Nine of Cups energy, and the Nine of Cups is about satisfaction. It's actually about bringing something to completion. Anytime you see the nines, it's like the last number before you get back to one, to 10, which is one, which is like starting over. And so this Nine of Cups is like having gone through the journey, the emotional journey, because the cups deal with emotions. So having gone through the emotional journey, the highs and the lows and the ups and the downs, and ending on a high note of satisfaction and contentment and fulfillment. This is where you want to be. So if something is coming to an end, you know, if this Five of Swords is causing you to bring something to an end, or maybe not necessarily to an end, but there has to be swift change. There has to be a dramatic change in your life, or something has to shift. You know what I mean? You want to do it in such a way that you end this way. And I don't mean that smug kind of satisfaction of, yeah, I got her, I got him. You know what I mean? Like, I really ruined their lives. No, you want to be able to sleep at night. You know what I mean? You want the kind of satisfaction that actually brings joy and ultimate fulfillment. How do you get there? And it's not about compromising so much. And when I say that, I mean, it's not about compromising your truest desires or your morals or your core values. If there's something or someone that really does need to be removed from your life, in a way where, you know, where you just don't deal with them anymore. I'm telling you, do nothing crazy. I'm just saying, where you don't deal with them anymore, or you have to leave that job because it's just not suitable anymore. You know, then that's fine. If it conflicts with your core values and your goals and who you are, that's fine. But the way you go about bringing about that change in your life or ending that situation can determine whether or not you end up with fullness of joy and contentment and satisfaction. So you want to make sure that you go through this week really examining any of your conflicts, whether they're petty and small or very, very major. And because sometimes, and we've seen a lot of that, even over the past few weeks, where something that is so petty and small just escalates into something that is so big and out of control. And you don't want that. So you want to actually go through this week where you examine all conflicts, whether they're small and petty or big and major in your life, or all necessary changes that must take place in your life, and examine how you go about doing that. Do it with wisdom and do it in a way that at the end of the week or at the end of the situation, you are satisfied and you are emotionally fulfilled, and you're not left with any bitterness or residue or anger because of the conflict. Because ultimately you want change in your life so that you can have this, so you can have joy and emotional fulfillment. You know, a lot of times people think they want change, or they want to deal with conflict in a way so that they can one-up a person, or they can, you know, get their revenge on, or they can make that person feel as bad as they do. Most people that function like that it never ends in this 9 of Cup energy. It never ends in emotional satisfaction. You think it does because you might be so mad in a moment that you think that taking your anger out on a person or a place or whatever is going to give you the emotional satisfaction that you desire. But I'm here to tell you it won't. So however you handle your conflicts, make sure that it will be done in a way that brings you the emotional satisfaction that you really need. Ask yourself, you know, why does this conflict bother me so much? Like, what is the alternative? What is it that I'm really wanting? Then go for that. You know, the reason why, you know, a certain conflict may bother you is because maybe it just messes with your personal peace. So being, you know, being petty and aggressive is not going to give you peace. You know what I mean? So you have to begin to function this week in a way of what you want. You know, you have to begin to function in this, not in a combative way so much, but you have to already put yourself in this 9 of Cups energy, and then allow that emotional fulfillment to align yourself, basically what I'm saying, align yourself to this emotional fulfillment rather than aligning yourself to the anger and the revenge or the getting back or the arguments and things like that. All right. So go ahead and align yourself to what it is you think you're arguing for or fighting for. All right. So the wisdom card that you received this week is, let's see. Not for you. All right. So let's see what this says. Not for you. All right, so not for you. A clear knowing that something is being denied you Rejection is God's protection. There are times when it appears that no matter how deeply you desire something, no matter how hard you work at something, the result you seek seems to elude you. It's as if you don't really get to be in the game and you feel you're just watching from the sidelines. The appearance of this card indicates that you are not going to attain what you want right now, that indeed your dreams for that exact thing will not be fulfilled. This is a time to radically accept that This is a time to radically accept that not everything is available to you when you want it. Take heart, for there are benevolent forces who desire the best for you and have a much clearer idea of what is for your highest good. Rejection is God's protection. Something much better that will make you truly happy is on its way. Trust this. Wow, that is so powerful, because this little Five of Swords energy is definitely about trying to have something that is not for you right now, trying to bulldoze your way in. And usually when you try to bulldoze your way in, it is because you're trying to get something that you're not supposed to have right now. You know, you're trying to force people to agree with you, or you're trying to force your way. You're trying to force people to give you what you want. You're trying to force what you think you should have. And even if it's things that are good, like it may be a job that you really want, or, you know, a type of relationship that you really want. And, you know, so you're thinking like that's a good thing, like that job is a good thing, or that relationship is a good thing, or whatever. But when you go about it with this Five of Swords energy, that means you'll fight anybody for it. You'll do the worst in the name of having the best. And when you go about things like that, is very manipulative. This Five of Swords energy is very manipulative. So either you are trying to be manipulative, or maybe this is the energy that's coming at you from someone else. But it never ends in Nine of Cups energy. Manipulation never leads to emotional satisfaction and fulfillment and contentment and joy and happiness. Right? So if something is not for you, or something is not for you right now, and the way to tell is because you're in this, I'm gonna win at all costs. If you are in the mindset, I'm gonna have it at all costs, you know, I know my credit cards are maxed out, but I'm gonna spend all, you know, go over the limit because I just gotta have that thing. You know, whatever it is, if you are, wherever this week you find yourself trying to win, trying to get it, trying to have it, trying to get that relationship, trying to have that person, trying to have that job by any means necessary, but you know what I mean? At all costs, no matter who it hurts in the process, no matter, even if it hurts you in the long run, then it's not for you, darling. Not right now, not at this time. What you need to do is go ahead and be content with where you are right now. Find joy where you are right now. Find happiness where you are right now, and begin to ask, you know, pray, where do I need to be? You know, where can I find this emotional satisfaction that doesn't require me going into my lowest self? Uses like amethyst, you know, tap into your highest self in order to get to where you need to be. Because if you try to do things this way, it's not for you. All right. So that is the wisdom that I have for you all this week. I greatly appreciate you all allowing me to come into your world this week and share a bit of wisdom with you. Make sure that you click the link below and check out the other products and services that I have. And until we speak again, I am wishing you so much peace and love. All right, thank you to everyone who participated in our pick a card for the week of August 11th through the 17th. Make sure if you're watching this on or before Monday, August 12th, that you comment your card selection so that you can automatically be entered to win our August giveaway. Again, make sure that you click the link in the description box below to book a personal reading. You can get the Magic of Me intuitive natal chart reading, which helps you to know your purpose and more about who you are. It looks at all of the planets in your chart to give you a better picture of who you are. The Magic of Me mini natal chart reading just looks at your sun, moon, and rising sign, but still gives you some in-depth knowledge on who you are and your life's purpose. Also, you can get the 2019 mid-year reading to know your options, obstacles, and opportunities from now until December 2019 that are available to you in your life. And then also, if you just have a general question about you just want some clarity about something in your life, you can book the general question reading as well. Also, you can get the Magic of Self-Love, my book, The Magic of Self-Love. So thank you all so much for watching this video this week. And until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Thank you.